Welcome everyone to the Adelaide Perry Prize for Drawing Exhibition of Finalists 2022. My name is Andrew Paxton, Gallery Manager and Acting Curator here at PLC Sydney. I'd like to extend a few special welcomes. Dr. Paul Burgess, PLC Sydney Principal, Dr. Andrew Frost, our guest speaker, Ray Kurihab, representing College Council, PLC Executive Staff, Miss Lara Marassa, PLC Sydney Art and Design Captain, and of course our 2022 finalists. We'll be finding out very soon whose work has won the Acquisitive Award of $25,000, generously supported by PLC Sydney Parents and Friends Association. To begin this evening's official proceedings, I would like to call on Lara, who will deliver an acknowledgement of country. Lara.
I would like to begin by acknowledging that this land on which we are privileged to work, learn and play always was and always will be Aboriginal land. We acknowledge with respect the land, the waterways, the sky and the traditional practices of the Wongal people of the Eora Nation. We pay our respects to the elders, past, present and emerging, for they hold the traditions, the memories, the culture and the hopes of the land we call Australia. We extend this respect to our Indigenous students and families. We do this in the spirit of reconciliation, as together we move to a place of equity, justice and partnership. And now a few words from our principal, Dr. Burgess.
Thank you, Lara, and I add my warm welcome tonight. I first of all want to say thank you to Andrew, who's done such a wonderful job. It's great. We want to say thank you to the curator and to our wonderful judge. Thank you very much for taking the time. I was here when you were wandering around having a bit of a look, and I'd love to be able to get inside your mind to know how you choose for seeing such wonderful artworks. Also say thank you to the staff and, of course, to all of our guests, to the artists and everybody who's come tonight. A warm welcome to you all. When you come tonight, I'm sure you're anxious to find out who the winner is, and you can admire the wonderful works that are here on display. When I come along, I'm just thrilled that you've done this for us as a school, because now our students, before they've really done any substantive work, can come along and take an inspiration. They may never have thought to do something this way. You know, we start off and we derive much of what we do through a sort of a mimesis, a mimicry of others, and we gather things together. And thank you very much for being part of that, to inspire them. Learning should be exhilarating, and thank you for helping to make it so. I wish you all the best, and congratulations to the winner, whoever you are. Thank you.
Thanks, Paul. A little bit about the Perry Prize and about the artist and educator we commemorate this evening. In establishing a National Art Award in 2006, PLC Sydney's aim was to support and celebrate contemporary Australian art and artists, bring the art community and other schools into the gallery, grow the PLC Sydney collection, and enrich the learning experiences of the students at our college. This award, the premier event on the gallery calendar, allows our students to engage directly with works of contemporary art and with practising artists. It is also a meeting place for these professional practitioners and our visual arts teaching staff, where enduring associations are made and often extend to other visual arts programs run at the college, including PLC's annual Artist in Residence and Art Masterclass. Adelaide Perry was born at Beechworth, Victoria in 1891 and grew up in Melbourne and Dunedin, New Zealand. From age 23, Adelaide studied at the National Gallery of Victoria's schools under Bernard Hall and Frederick McCubbin, eventually becoming the recipient of their prestigious travelling scholarship. After a brief stint teaching art at Ipswich Girls Grammar, Brisbane, Adelaide used the scholarship to travel to London and Paris in 1922. Her time spent in London had the most impact on Adelaide, studying at the Royal Academy alongside artists such as Walter Sickert and Charles Sims. Following her return to Sydney in 1925, Adelaide established private art schools in the city and began exhibiting her works at Macquarie Galleries. She also taught at Julian Ashton Art School part-time, where Thea Proctor and Julian Ashton were her colleagues. In 1930, Adelaide began a post teaching at Presbyterian Ladies College, Sydney, that became a full-time career in education spanning 3 decades until her retirement in 1962. She continued to make art working from her home studio in Hunters Hill and painting on plein air locally or around the south coast of New South Wales, selling her work through Artarmon galleries. The Art Gallery of New South Wales hold many of her best portraits and lino prints in its collection, and her works are held in most state collections. The Perry Prize in 2022 received over 400 entries from artists from across the country. Our judge, Dr. Andrew Frost, has scarcely let a square metre of gallery wall space go bare, choosing a short list of 46 excellent works. About our 2022 judge. Dr. Andrew Frost is a writer, critic, curator and documentary maker. In 2004, he co-founded Australia's longest-running art and culture blog, The Art Life, where he was editor until 2020. Finger on the pulse, funny and irreverent, its opinion pieces and commentary on the Australian art scene and art establishment saw the blog soon become popular with artists Australia-wide, particularly those emerging or lesser known. Its notoriety led to Andrew being invited by the ABC to write and present 2 3-part series of the same name that went to air in 2007 and 2009. They broadcast to very good reviews, attuned to Andrew's sense of humour and drama and the series' sleek and artful production design. One reviewer lauded Andrew's writing style and screen presence as Clive James-esque. Following up on the success of the series, Andrew subsequently wrote and presented over a dozen ABC One art documentaries, including The A to Z of Art and The Conquest of Space, Contemporary Art and Sci-Fi. He directed and co-produced the documentaries My Space Program, The Art of Peter Hennessy, 2015, The Grand Mistake, A Portrait of Maclean Edwards, 2017. Andrew has written for numerous Australian and international art journals, and since 2013 has been a contributing art critic for Guardian Australia. Andrew, it has been an honour for the college to have you participate in this year's Perry Prize as judge. It has been an absolute pleasure for me to have met you, and we are thrilled to have you in attendance to present the 2022 winner. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Dr. Andrew Frost to the mic.
Thank you, Andrew. He went off topic there. I provided him with one brief paragraph. It's like being confronted with your past sins, but anywho, excuse me. Okay, so I'll tell you a true story. I'll keep it relatively short. The selection of the finalists for the prize was done by looking at pictures on a hard drive, which I did remotely from my house on the Central Coast. When I sat down to make the selection, I opened up the file and there was about 50 or so works in it. And I thought, I'll be done by lunchtime. It was 10:15. I said, this isn't going to take any time at all. So I started looking through this 50 or so works and thought, this is actually really very good. I didn't really recognise many of the names of people on this list. About 11, I went to get a coffee, came back, opened up the file, and suddenly realised that the JPEGs and so forth of the smallest file size had loaded first. And in fact, at that stage, there were over 200 works. Later in the day, as I continued through, there were more and more and more works. So the principal has suggested I might tell you my process in some way. Judging a prize of any kind under any circumstances is usually quite difficult. one has to kind of commune with the works for a while and start to get a sense of what's standing out to you, what is resonating with you, on whatever reason that might be. Try to make a short list, and then hopefully, eventually, the winner becomes the logical choice. This was incredibly difficult and nothing like that at all. In fact, when I was looking through the works that have been submitted, I think this was the most difficult art prize I've ever had to judge because of the outstanding quality of work that had been submitted. And then I got the fear. I started to wonder, how am I going to make this choice? So, Zen-like, master of nothing, just let it flow and see what happens. I don't know if that's a process that one can really claim as their own or if it has any value, but I stand before you as someone humbled in the face of this work. It was quite difficult and quite incredibly high quality. I don't know whether commending works rather than giving out multiple prizes is necessarily valuable in and of itself, but I felt that it was necessary to make some recommendations for a commendation for a number of works in my final list. So amongst those works are 3 works that I would like to nominate for highly commended. The first is by Nadia Odlem, and it's a work called Topple, which is just over there on the left of the big television screen. The second work I'd like to nominate as highly commended is by Margaret McKenna, titled Puss, and the cat in question is right there. And the other work is behind me, actually, this piece here, Luann Mitchellmore's Centennial Park Islands. So thank you to those artists for entering, and I hope this commendation is of some value to you. But as they said in a movie sometime, there can only be one, and there is only one winner. So the winning entry for the Adelaide Perry Prize 2022, it's my great pleasure to announce Jodie Graham for her work Cinder Dance. She's right here. So I'm going to make it difficult for you now, Jodie. Maybe you could tell us a little about your work, because there is a really interesting story to this piece. Thank you.
Thank you. It does feel difficult because I feel really excited to be standing here and my heart's beating really fast and I can't believe it. And wow, because I too look at all the artworks around and people in the drawing community, and I feel really honoured to be the one that was selected this year. And I want to thank the Adelaide Perry Drawing Prize for providing this opportunity to drawers. And I've enjoyed participating many times, and also thank you to you as well for. It was really nice to sit and hear you describe your process, and my heart's slowing down a little bit. So I just feel amazed, and anyway, I'll talk a little bit about the work because the work is very important, and it's not my typical drawing style, though I actually don't know what my typical drawing style is because I'm constantly researching different ways to draw. And this particular work is a result of the Black Summer bushfires and my conversations with people that fought the fires and lost property and some terrifying circumstances, and so people shared a lot of stories with me, and especially a man called Den Barber who taught me about cultural burning, a little bit about it. So this work, when I was making it, I wanted to create through drawing how I felt about the beauty of cultural burning and what was shared with me with keeping the fires low and not harming the tops of trees and wildlife. So it was really beautiful, the connection to country that was shared with me, and that's what I've tried to recreate in this drawing with branches that were burned in those fires. So I'm so glad it's in the collection and the winner, and I think that's it, other than all the thank yous to the parents and friends that provide the prize money. Wow. Thank you.
Congratulations, Jodie. Cinder Dance shimmers and the story behind its creation is captivating. Thank you, Andrew, for your words. Please accept a small token of our appreciation for being here tonight. Second bunch of flowers, thanks.
Brilliant, thank you so much.
Before we conclude, I need to make a few acknowledgements. Thank you to Mrs. Carmen Martin, the Croydon Secretary, and Mrs. Nicole Rader, Art and Design Assistant, for their administrative and technical assistance. Also Ms. Jo Knight, Head of Visual Arts, for her guidance. Catalogues are now being distributed and sales are now open. Please see PLC staff at the gallery bar top for inquiries. Also, please don't forget to cast your People's Choice vote at the iPad on the right. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you.